moving on. Conor McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly. I don't know if you guys saw at the VMAs. They got into a little bit of a beef. There are some photos, some video. In the video, you can see Conor McGregor running over and throwing a drink at them. And then there's a funny photo that's been memed out a lot where Conor's actually throwing a punch and Machine Gun Kelly's just looking at it. Megan Fox is in there. It's kind of like the Last Supper, like a little photo nowadays. Angie, what do you think happened with all that? Is this just Conor being off the rails, kind of his usual self? Because he's never been someone to hold back in public. Once he made his money and he was out there and he became, the Conor McGregor, the filters were gone. He's got the issue, like he smashed a dude's phone in Miami. He hit the old man that didn't want one of his a shot of his whiskey in Ireland. He got the issue with his last fight with Dustin Poirier.
The tour bus window.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that shit was insane, and the UFC publicized it when in reality it was just assault. And multiple people were injured.
A felony.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think? Was this Conor being Conor? Was there something deeper between him and MGK? Maybe Megan Fox, involved in that?
So there's some stuff going around the internet. I don't know the validity of it, but it referenced that Megan Fox had commented on, Conor McGregor's looks to MGK, and I didn't see MGK become upset at all, but I don't know if somebody put some words, but basically, in what was said is that she made a comment on him being hot and she would fuck him. Or I probably shouldn't have said that, or she would mess with him. But then she went back and said, well, he has a reason to be upset. I've cheated on him before. First of all, in a relationship, if there has been infidelity, why would you speak on it publicly or why would you put it out? So I don't know the validity of it, but I do know she was dressed pretty scantily, and, men will be men and fight over a girl, and who knows? I do know that McGregor can be a hothead and has never held his tongue, so I don't really know.
I mean, I see it as McGregor being McGregor. It just brings me back to the last fight he had, and even after getting his butt whooped and breaking his leg while he's down on the ground in pain, all he can think to say is, "Your wife's in my DMs." And I'm just like, dude, like, do you have any self-control or whatever? You just lost, your legs broke, and you're talking about this dude's girl. So I feel that Conor McGregor probably could have said something. There's probably something in the backstory that we don't know as of yet.
Oh yeah, maybe he said something about her.
Yeah. And maybe Megan Fox was in his deal. I don't know. Right. I mean,
we don't know. It's
going to come out. Whatever truth there is, believe it'll come out. But again, I Conor McGregor and me just don't mix, and I'm sure he's a good guy. I just don't like his personality, and I don't like the way he goes about things. So I'm going to put fault on him before anybody else. And it kind of looked like in that picture too that Machine Gun Kelly maybe had some paint or something blush on his face.
He had glitter, bedazzled stuff on his face.
I was like,
that's just
what
strange.
Is that?
What's up with MGK period? I mean, he was a rapper and then somebody checked him in the rap game and now he's a rock and roll.
So he called out Eminem. He did his diss on Eminem, and Eminem was like, all right, cool, gotcha. Kill Shot comes out. Yeah. And after that, MGK kind of lost all of his cred in the rap game. Even though he doesn't admit defeat, it kind of went down after that. And then he transitioned over into punk with Travis Barker. They collab a lot now, and it's just he's worked in that genre, and he's kind of just sticking over there now, which is fine. As a rapper, when I was in high school, he was very popular. Wild Boy and with Waka Flocka and stuff. So I always liked him. He's never my favorite rapper, but it is what it is. So I'm happy to see him transition over. If he, if I'm with Megan Fox and she wants me to put bedazzles on my face, I'm bedazzle my face too. So I don't know what his reasoning behind the look, but if she was the one's like, hey, it'll look hot, for sure, whatever you want me to wear. Yeah. But whatever the situation was, I lean more towards is probably Conor being a hothead.
Yeah.
And I used to be such a big Conor fan. His story was he was a plumber, gets to the UFC, gets that $60K bonus, and then is just to the moon from there. He just blew up. And then once he hit that peak, he just all right, I can be an asshole now. And I don't know how much of it is an act or just this is his personality with money, but
Yeah, that sucks.
I hope to see him like the old Conor back, like the one that was
Humble.
just a fighter. But I think he's gone. He has too much money.
Yeah. Have you seen some of the suits that he wears?
Yeah, they're so wild. I just can't imagine, like, because I've been poor like my whole life. So whenever I see someone like go from poor to get money like that, I'm like, dude, like that suit costs what, like $750,000?
Right?
Like, save it, homie. Like, put it in the bank. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
But Dr. Mary McNeil Jones, what did you think about that altercation at the VMAs? Do you think it was Conor McGregor? Do you think it was MGK? Do you think there's more to it with Megan Fox? Because what Conor said was that she like, there's a video of her cheering for him after a fight. It was many years ago, but that's what he was saying it stemmed off from. Do you think that has any validity, or?
I don't know. I think that probably Conor McGregor was the one that had this going on.
Yeah, started it.
Yeah, I would say so too. And I think especially coming off the loss, you know, the way he did, like the way KD was saying it was very embarrassing, you know, because he was losing that fight regardless of his leg breaking. He lost that round pretty handily. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the kick was checked, leg broke. It is what it is. Fight's over. But the way he handled it, to sit on the ground with a broken leg and still be like, your wife's in my DMs, like,
just
dude,
kind of a sore loser.
You just lost, bro. Stop. It's over.
Let it go. Concede.
It just seems like sometimes he's just really off the rails, and I could see him at the VMAs, you know, just trying to create buzz because, you know, he's coming off, he's like on a 3-fight losing streak now after that, you know, and people aren't as hyped for McGregor as they used to be because, like, you know, the first time McGregor lost in the UFC, Nate Diaz beat him. He blew up. After Khabib beat him, he blew up. After Dustin beat him the first time, kinda, and then the second time, nothing at all. So it's not like fighting Conor isn't what it used to be. He doesn't have that same
fire.
that luster. Like, you know, like Manny was talking about boxing him. I'm sure that fight's completely gone now because there's not that much money in it.
Yeah.
So I could just see Conor trying to create buzz and creating situations so that his name is still relevant. It's still hot because, you know, in the fight game, he's kind of a loser right now.
Yeah. That's
the irony for me, just one last thing in the whole situation is, for two people that I really don't like, I gotta give credit to Jake Paul for that necklace, that chain he had of Conor McGregor being knocked out around his neck. Like, that piece was beautiful. He called it.
That was hilarious. Like, when he saw it, it was like, it's an expensive chain. And then he sent it to Dustin Poirier, and Dustin used it for his charity that he has in Louisiana. Cool. So it all worked out for everybody, you know. You know, when Conor trolls someone, you know, it's for his benefit. You know, when these guys troll someone, at least, you know, it's for the benefit of others, and I appreciate them, you know, using that for charity.